say this on the subway, though. We were both very lost on the
Oh,
subway.
yeah, but I got you guys. I got you. Come on.
Well, I mean, I trust you 100%. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, Abe.
I trust you 100%.
Come on. You tell him there's no rift in the black flag. You got to trust the boys.
No. I trust both of you. Please. I'm
stirring the pot.
corner.
I'm totally instigating for absolutely no reason.
They did do that, this or that with TK yesterday, Coney or EE, and he wouldn't answer me.
Oh, no shot. No shot. He didn't answer me either, so we'll never know. All right. Moving on to the next set, guys. It is what you saw. Gluto is with the fashion, by the way. Gluto versus MUTEACE, but with MUTEACE coming off a hot win, meanwhile, Gluto just getting 2-0'd by Mr. R. Yeah. What does this do when you go back-to-back in sets like this? You don't really have a lot of that downtime, so Mute is still warmed up from that last set, feeling that adrenaline a little bit.
I mean, this is 100% advantage to Mute. I mean, you said it. The adrenaline's right there. The confidence is brewing. You know, for Gluto, he understands, like, this is must win, essentially, right? I need to get on the board, and I'm doing it against somebody who just convincingly took out somebody who, obviously, again, kind of like myself, I feel like is one of those people you just expect to automatically make it out of a group stage like this. Wow. So we're going to see a lot of pressure, I feel like, for Gluto. Now, one thing he can really hang his hat on, though, is the fact that when it does come to MUTEACE, I believe he has a 3-0 record over Mute. So the history is there. Okay, the history is there if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think the last time they played was CEO 2021 in top 8, where Gluto won 3-1, getting that first stock. But highlighting the fact that Mute had opened up pretty strong with a good amount of percent. It was Gluto that kept Mute off stage that entire time, off to that right side of the stage. But his positioning and spacing, again, twinkle toes, you're going up and away here off to the side of the stage, but getting scooped up by the up tilt, the back air, even trying to predict the jump. Even whenever Mute tries to stall by the ledge with float, Gluto is patiently just waiting for him to come right back in.
And I love that from Gluto. And I'm going to tell you this, you know, again, there's so many things obviously that go into it game-wise, right, mechanics-wise, but there is something to be said about when your confidence is still just there. Takes the L in the opening game. I'll tell you what, Vicky, if I just tuned into this stream, I wouldn't be able to tell with how efficient that Gluto is playing right now. Absolutely decimating a red-hot MUTEACE coming into this one who has no answers. That chomp might take the stock. No mites about it. It is going to absolutely do it and give Gluto a 3-1 lead.
He's just standing there menacingly. It's actually terrifying the way that he's actually playing this matchup right now. It's so different than what we witnessed. He's got the waft. He almost gets the follow-up with the up B when he saw that the waft wasn't just enough. He kind of was in that awkward hitbox off to the side.
Yeah. Just gets the damage right there, not necessarily the positioning or the knockback, but you know what? When you've got a lead like this, you're not too concerned about that. Gluto at the moment right now, just looking to put this one away. You're gonna need a very, like a Herculean effort to have any semblance of bringing this one back. The up air gonna close out the first stock, but still a long way to go to make this game #1 a reality for Mute.
Gets that grab, tries to predict Mute, trying to utilize that platform to help him recover back again. See the float, though. He didn't burn the jump just yet until right there when he was descending on top of that platform with the down air.
I like the usage of that chomp, too. You've seen that a couple times.
Oh, no.
Out. Oh, that might put it away. No, able to dodge the follow-up. Let's see, is it going to be a false finish? It is indeed. Those chompers not quite enough to put it away, but this is 160 done for Peach as Gluto takes first game pretty convincingly.
The change up in playstyle that we just witnessed from Gluto versus what we had seen against his setup with Mr. R is insane to see how quickly that Gluto was able to immediately draw back, because this is where Gluto does shine. Of course, we highlighted the difference in playstyle that Mute had versus that set with Gact, where he could slow things down a bit immediately on the fly. He could change things up, get incredibly aggressive once he is in that position to do so. But Gluto, off the gates, like literally out of the gates, he immediately was playing, making sure that his priority was to keep control of the stage. He kept Mute off that stage for so long, but not just that. He kept catching him every single time Mute jumped. Mute even had to resort to floating underneath the ledge at one point just to stall out Gluto, maybe mix up a timing when he wanted to get onto the ledge. Gluto didn't care. He stayed roll distance, and he waited to see what MUTEACE was going to do, and he continued that type of play style throughout the rest of that game.
That's what it is, man. I mean, look, that's the kind of execution and the kind of confidence that goes into having a 3-0 record against somebody, okay? So, obviously, Gluto, no stranger to Mute, but, you know, we've seen some some game-changing victories already, I want to say, throughout today. Keeping in mind, we've only seen 2 sets. That should tell you the kind of tournament we're already getting into, guys.
I know.
So,
it's crazy.
About Mute, I am not discouraged by any means. I just understand back to the drawing board. Let's get it popping. Gets an opportunity to obviously pick the stage on this one. Small Battlefield going to be the selection. Let's see if Small Battlefield can make a big difference for MUTEACE.
This was the stage that MUTEACE beat Gakton originally here too. Gak didn't really have that space that he wanted to work with in general, but you know, with the way that Gluto's playing so patiently, this could actually work out for Gluto to now change things up a little bit here. Tries to get that back air, Mute just floating right above his head real quick. Trying to approach with the down air, but the slide up tilt to keep Mute up in the air. Look at all the damage that Mute has taken from this.
That was so slick. Really good strategy right there from Gluto, not letting Mute kind of just get down for free. Always willing to just kind of challenge in those situations. Finding some big hits. Oh my goodness, even bigger than I thought. I was not expecting that back air to KO. But nonetheless, you're not gonna hear any complaints from Gluto on that one. Takes the first stock and now begins to work on the second. Quick retaliation though coming out from Mute. Not gonna get the stock, but I like this positioning. Goes for a fair, not quite there. Bars. Not intentional.
Yeah, all right, yeah, you see these up airs as well. Gluto trying to catch him with the down tilt. Wow, he teleported into his hands real quick right there with that turnaround grab. Peach trying to show, yeah, I could be a mechanic here too. Try to call out a jump real quick from the ledge with the fair. Gluto again just holding onto the ledge, being patient.
Definitely. What you got for us, Gluto? All right, just gonna hold that shield, Mute. So a couple times against Gak, you hold that shield too long, Mute is definitely going to exploit that.
It's easy for Peach to do that there too, because the conditioning comes from floating right behind your opponent.
Yep.
You expect those back airs, but instead you see Mute go immediately for a turnaround grab, but you also see the micro spacing from Gluto, putting himself out of that position so that way he could get the confirmation out of that down tilt.
What was that about standing there menacingly? I think that was the perfect example on that last
literally
stock
just waited.
That Gluto delivered there. So loses it right in that moment, but I mean, still a whole stock lead. Waft is on deck as well. Everything going correct for Gluto right now. Obviously wants to get himself on the board, just one stock away from doing that. Mute though with some fight, some fire left in the tank. Let's see what we got.
Oh, that was so scary real quick. Gluto wanted to wait to see what MUTEACE wanted to do right there, but he ended up rolling on that platform backwards. The win condition is also online here while Mute is on this last stock, 50%. You know what Gluto really wants. You see some of those falling up airs real quick. The down tilt into the fair from Mute. Catches the turn up real quick. Got to eat your veggies sometimes here too. The Twinkle Toes is waiting to see if he can catch Mute.
Oh, okay, Mute. Oh, ends up picking up the bike. Situation getting more and more dire by the second, and of course, while still being an enormous threat. Not to mention the fact that Wario is just a tank when he comes through with those hitboxes.
That side be collided though with Gluto. Still 119 here, expecting to get an air. Oh, spaghetti everywhere. You even saw Gluto try to predict a roll backwards, but it's a dash attack. Gonna be able to catch Peach in the air. Aside from the up tilt being such a good anti-air to deal with Peach trying to approach, since we see MUTEACE trying to approach a lot in the air from down air, it's the fact that that dash attack also scoops you up when you're trying to dance around Gluto's space above
100%.
him.
And he's just able to just kind of find those conversions at any given point. It wasn't just via down tilt. We saw right there in the closing moments, it was the fair into dash attack that actually took care of that stock. So well done from Gluto, good awareness. MUTEACE obviously trying to find some fight, but you know, there's a reason the record's a little more heavily skewed in the favor of Gluto, and that's just gonna be another notch on that mark right there. So congrats to Gluto, gets himself on the board, and even despite our loss earlier to Mr. R, obviously has not lost a step, still feeling very good and playing at that as well.
I mean, we are zooming. We've had